All right, listen up, Buntport Theater. That is your real name. Just judging from the framed plaques and awards and shit on the wall, it is. I don't know why you'd lie to me about that. The only reason we're having this debate tonight when Bacon is so clearly better than Kevin Bacon is because we all know there's a very popular game, which Denise just illustrated, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. But the reason that game exists is because Kevin Bacon is a shitty actor. And he has had to star in a lot of films in order to make any money. Because anybody who gets into acting knows that you only get into acting to be in a franchise, like Indiana Jones or Back to the Future. And Kevin Bacon can't because his facial structure is way too skeletal. So he had to be in a lot of films in order to bring home the bacon. Hence the cinematic ubiquity that is Kevin Bacon, right? And I get it, it's a fun game. It's a very fun game to play that. It's also lent Kevin Bacon a certain sort of pop cultural cachet that's hard to quantify monetarily, which is the only way I think of art. But I'm here to tell you tonight that you don't need Kevin Bacon to play that game at all right? You guys take out the Kevin out of that, and you'll find that we're all just 6 degrees away from Bacon. You, ma'am, who's the most famous person you've ever met in your life or seen? Most famous person you've ever met in your life or seen? Don Cheadle? That's amazing that you would say Don Cheadle like that right now, because I rather go Don Cheadle. Did you say that because he went to East High School in Denver, Colorado, and like me and Don Cheadle are both famous East alum? I'm not trying to talk about that lady. I got a point to prove about Bacon. When you start thinking about my man Cheeds, you start thinking about films like Hotel Rwanda. Incidentally, stayed there once. Room service was terrible. Maybe think about Cheeds in Ocean's 11. I think about Cheeds in the last vehicle that I saw him in. Little indie project, kind of went under the radar, called Iron Man 2. Played at the Mine for 2 weeks. Then it went to Chez Artiste, now it's in obscurity. Iron Man 2 had a lot of characters in it, a lot of actors, but one bit actor who also directed the film, Jon Favreau, all right? Hollywood's bulldog. Never met an all-you-can-eat buffet he couldn't sink his goatee into. When you think of Jon Favreau, you think about swingers, sure, but that's skinny Favreau. This is clearly fat Favreau, so I'm starting to think about a little film called The Replacements. You guys ever see The Replacements? Yeah. About a group of ragtag football players that cross the picket lines to go on to create the most forgettable football movie of all time. But they play it on TBS all the time. It's got a lot of hot cheerleaders that do racy routines. Next thing you know, an hour and 45 minutes has passed. I'm sitting there with an erection, crying. Why am I crying? Because of the way the team rallies around their quarterback, Shane Falco, ably played by Keanu Reeves. Now, I like to remember Keanu Reeves like this. Ted from Bill and Ted, Johnny Utah, you know, from that bank robbery surfing opus, Point Break. But most of the world knows Keanu Reeves like this, Neo, all right, from The Matrix, which incidentally was a franchise which Kevin Bacon could never do, because again, too skeletal a facial structure. And when you think about The Matrix, you think about how, oh man, made like $100 billion, look it up. You also think about a character named Agent Smith, who would say Mr. Anderson. Remember how creepy that dude was? I remember him as Agent Smith, but you guys may know him as Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving, Hugo Weaving. Why does that sound so familiar? It's not the name that sounds so familiar, it's the voice. Because Hugo Weaving voiced Rex, okay? The lovable border collie in the 1995 vehicle, Babe. Now, in addition to being nominated for Best Picture, Babe also starred a motherfucking pig. What are pigs made of, everyone? Oh, I think you know. Delicious, delicious bacon. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury that I've been picturing myself arguing in front of this entire time, I implore you, don't elevate a C- actor off of some pop cultural affinity you have for someone who could be replaced by bacon. Besides, I know from personal experience, this tastes way better in your mouth. Thank you, and God bless the United States of America.